Leon Qafzezi's work, Passport to Hell, from the very beginning, in the title of Preparing for that Vakame. That it constitutes the conscience of the Albanian intellectual caught in the trap of moral degeneration of transition, and transparency, i.e. corruption for on living with passports and smuggling, and selling the homeland and oneself. With the realistic distortion to the creep of rotten conscience to paraphrase, the author simply shows the true nature of the denaturation imposed by the so-called transition. Where this takes place with the annihilation of the moral conscience, Luka Kavoku Gazeta, Republika, February 22, 1998. In the work they are accomplices and accomplices, opposition and brothers is the authors and characters are as much copy as the protagonist, the natural sons of the rogue fathers. So the authors are alienated from the work and come to the background, before death and hell. As the father veterinarian adoption of the protagonist before the natural blockbuster babes and sexaman villain. The identity of treatment in Hell and Life is at the same time the real social identity of the nomenclature of the former communist Eastern pseudo-capitalism with the nomenclature of the dictatorship of the proletariat. Luka Kavoku Gazeta, Republika, the 22nd of February 1998. The author's hell is the lack of social meaning of life. It is the lack of purpose, it is the mud of the ideal. What is the hope after death? Throughout the work the author elegantly uses the scalpel of satire to the point of grotesque and sarcasm. The real social identity of the nomenclature of ex-communist Eastern pseudo-capitalism with the nomenclature of the dictatorship of the proletariat, with the declared logical absurdity. In addition to the masterful use of the contemporary form of conceptual verbal art reaches up to a psychological therapeutic, a Cold War that turned into the Peace of the Dead, and with such leitmotifs and choruses buzz all over the micro-novel. It is in unison with it and the characters use it for post-mortem survival. The author knows how to rise above his means of expression. He conventionally owns every figurative whim of his. The artistic maturity of the work is evidenced by the jealous preservation of a constant level of humor and a harmonious flow of information throughout the unfolding of the topic. Writing in the first person immerses you in the intimacy and secrecy of a diary. The revelation of the prenatal is presented as the beginning of the disappointments with which the ferric life of the author will be filled beyond. The press conference is the climax of the work, where the mixing of the media with the intrigues of the geniuses he describes and even created hell is very current given the paradoxical rule of the media in modern public and political life. Luka Kavoku Gazeta, Republika, the 22nd of February 1998. The work closes securely, as does Voltaire's Candidate, with a defeatist return home. It should be noted that the perfect composition, the sense of measure in humor, with the ferocious life of the characters constitute the strongest sides of the work. Verbal conceptual it greatly adds value and importance. The fine and modern figurative solution of the cover seals the merit of the author in another field of art.